Hi, my name is Phillip Lanos, and I've partnered with the Strategic Advisor Board to bring you a series of videos that's going to help you get your personal brand where you want it to be. I'm the founder and owner of a company by the name of Own the Rhythm, which focuses on personal branding and content strategy. It's important that you watch these videos in order. Unless I tell you otherwise, they build on themselves. This video in particular is going to be all about posing and how to feel natural and have the best experience if you're going to be taking photos of yourself, or even if you're working with a photographer, okay? So let's get into it. Now, the best thing you can do, and I may have to put my iPad down here for this because it's more important. The best thing you can do for yourself is to not feel rigid, right? Is to first start off, I hope that doesn't make noise on my mic, with a light stretch along this capacity, right? And really make sure to stretch. And guess what? It's not just the body. In particular, it's going to be the face. You see, now, my face happens to be pretty animated, but these exercises are going to look dumb, but it will make a world of a difference because you need to stretch your face in order to relax the tension in it. Unless you're meditating in the mornings, which good for you, kudos, you're going to need to release some of the tension that's in your face. And when you try to do it like this, it's going to feel very unnatural. So one of the things to do is raise the eyebrows, drop them down, right? Scrunch your face with the nose, scrunch it, let it go. Same thing with this, sort of a pulling down of the upper lip and the neckline, right? I know. I'm telling you, it feels ridiculous, but believe it or not, it makes a difference and your face starts to feel more relaxed. Now, once you have that relaxation set into your face, right, here's the best trick. And the photographer should tell you this, but in case they don't, because I don't want you to be relying on the photographer for anything other than the fact that you hired them to take the photos for you, because they're an extra body that can stand more of a distance away from you than you can with your selfie. And I really don't recommend using a selfie camera on a mobile device. Should always be using the back one if you're going to be using photos for creative assets, okay? But again, if you don't want to rely on them, you tell them this, right? I'm going to look down and I'm going to think of something that's emotionally aligned with the kind of thing I want to communicate in this photo. Now, with that emotional alignment, when I'm ready, I'm going to look up. And when I look up, I want you to take the photo, right? And once they know that, you can sit here, right? Think of something hilarious, like a nephew or a niece or a grandson, grandbaby, something. And if you do that, when you look up, they'll be able to snap like 100 pictures or whatever settings they have on immediately to get that exact frame that you're looking for, right? The other thing is, they teach this in dance class, right? In movement, you're going to want to think of your toes and your fingers and your nose as where the energy goes, okay? So often people will take photos like this, right, with their neck sort of hunched back. Terrible. Then they'll stiffen up like this when someone tells them better posture. Terrible. Keep the shoulders relaxed and know that with just the slight move of your chin makes all the difference. Often people are regularly standing like this, chin down increases the size of the face. So you can even stand to the side here, cheat just your upper body so that it looks like you're creating shape with your shoulders. Look down again and look up. And just like that, when you look up, they'll be able to take photos that will really come across as you being really natural, because it is. Because often when people see us and we're walking, we're turning over like, what was that? Right? We're not going, okay. Whatever it is, you're gonna do, cheese. Right now you see, I have small eyes. So I can't be like, cheese. It's going to look really unnatural. So the only way to get a really natural look is to do those things like, hey, you know, I hope that helps, because it's really hard to communicate and your photographer should help you with that. But those are the most natural ways to do it. Now, if you don't feel comfortable and you don't like yourself, you know, that's a bigger, deeper problem. And I really recommend reading something like Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, which is a plastic surgeon who essentially realized that no matter how beautiful he made someone, it's about what's going on inside that makes the difference. And he ended up creating a lot of exercises that involve relaxation and visualization to get you to grow. Because the key phrase that I remember from that book is you can never grow beyond your own self-image. And that's very important, right? Now, until you do that inner work, it's going to be rather difficult for you to be able to appreciate what you look like on camera. However, if you're going to be working with a photographer and they're not doing everything they can to make you feel relaxed, you can probably argue, you know, I'm going to go find a different photographer. But that's why an interview is important. A photographer should be able to show you from their conversation how comfortable they want to make you, you know? With that said, posing, right? Doing things like this, look really unnatural unless you're sitting down. And then if you're sitting down and you have your hands like this because you're on a desk, that tends to be a power thing, right? That's body language. But I really don't recommend it, you know? I think if you're going to be sitting, do something like this, right? Don't ever do this. This is posing. The only time these kinds of things matter, in particular with personal branding, is for thumbnails. Now you see here, we have thirds, right? This is 1/3 of the screen. This is the second third. And this is the third third, right? You're going to need to know the rule of thirds in photography. And in particular for thumbnails, for videos, or even flyers and social media assets. That's where things like, you know, maybe questions, what have you. And then right here in this area where my Siddhartha is, that's where the information for the graphic itself will be. That's where it's important. So I hope that you really thoroughly enjoyed this video, because I believe that even though it was longer than the other ones, this is the bulk of understanding photography, right? All you need to do is understand what kind of emotions you're supposed to be communicating in your messaging and contact anyways. So if you know your personal brand and you watch my personal branding series, then you'll know that if you have humor, then poses like this and like this will go along with your brand. Otherwise, you can do things like this to make yourself look more powerful or what have you, you know, things like this, what have you. Otherwise, you can even do things where you can put your hands behind your back there, right? And then just smile. Sometimes turn your head to the side and then look to the left with just your eyes can create a different image, right? So if you collect a bunch of those in different looks, you'll be able to crop yourself out and place yourself onto a flyer, for a thumbnail on YouTube, for you name it, right? Whatever kind of creative asset you want. As long as you're standing in any one of the end opposite thirds, that will help so much, and it's why I'm using this background here to sort of point that out. So, thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate you watching this video. Hey, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate that. There should be a place below where you can leave a comment. Feel free to comment whatever you want on whether or not I left something out or you have more questions about something. That being said, there should also be links in the description that should put you in touch with either the Strategic Advisor Board with what they're doing or with myself. If there isn't a link for me for whatever reason, go to philliplanos.com. That's Philip with 2 L's, Phillip, Lanos.com. And there should be some way to get a hold of me through the contact form. I also have my social media links on there. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you.